How are you?
How are you today? Good, you?
Great. Thanks
I
for
love,
being with me and taking the time to do this today.
thanks.
So I just have a few questions.
All right.
Why did you sign up for the McDougall program?
Um, I wanted to talk to people who felt the same way I did after, because I got into this a couple years ago, and I wanted to know if I was on the right path, if I was doing what I had read correctly, because you have so much information that's free on your site and all those resources, but I wanted to make sure that I was actually interpreting it the way it was intended to be done. So I guess that's probably why, to be in contact with people who actually felt this way, and to make sure I had, what I read and what I understood on my own was what you intended.
So you've been doing this for a while. What did you get
Yep.
out of the course?
A lot. One thing was you were able to take all that material and present it over the 12 days in a methodical, step-by-step format. So what we did on the first day, you built on the second day, and you built on the third day. So it sort of like organized everything and gave a sequence and an order to it, so you could make more sense of it and see the progression. And plus, I still, even though I'd been on it for a while, my blood pressure still improved, and I still did lose some weight. And the other thing I really liked about the program was those morning meetups with the other participants, to give me a really good chance to talk to other people who were actually doing this at the same time. So we swapped a lot of ideas on, a lot of cooking ideas, a lot of menu ideas. So not just the information part of it that you gave, but I also got a lot out of the meetups with other people doing the same program.
I'm so glad. I hear that a lot. Just that sense of community is so important. You don't want to feel like you're alone.
Yeah. And it's, and of course, over the 2 years that I've been doing this prior to signing up, everybody thinks I'm crazy. They're like, that's, oh, I'm glad you found something that works for you, is the most common answer that I get. And then they continue to complain about their arthritis or whatever else is bothering them that day. But you suggest that maybe they change the way they eat, and it's like, oh, why would I do that?
So how has the McDougall program changed your life?
I've lost close to 60 pounds now. My blood pressure is very stable and quite a bit lower, and I've cut one of my blood pressure meds in half, working with Dr. Lim during the program. I actually think it's getting close to time to get rid of the other half. Some of the things that caused us to do it the first time are happening again, so I think it's close to time to get rid of that. I'm more confident with doing the program and making my menus and stuff. And I'm looking forward to the next step, when maybe I get off the cholesterol medicine. My cholesterol is way down, but we're still on it. So we're going to wait, and I can't wait to get rid of that. So I'm looking forward to getting rid of all the meds and just being healthy and going on. Not bad for 60, huh?
I love that. You look good. You look happy.
I have not felt this good I can't remember. I moved up to where I'm living now 10 years ago, and I've physically improved from yard work and whatnot. But the improvement in how I feel over the last 2 years and since taking the program is just incredible. What a difference, energy wise and just stamina to do like jobs around the house and yard work. And
I
I
love
can't wait
that.
to get my kayak out this summer.
That's great. So how have you managed to be so successful?
It's the food. Isn't that what your dad says? It's the food. I really am. I switched over from 2 years ago. I used to be a big one for egg sandwiches in the morning. I'd pick them up at the store on my way out and drink a coffee. And I'd usually have chicken or, chicken tenders or something for lunch. The doctors were like, well, do low carb and all that stuff. Since I've done your program, I do the oatmeal for breakfast. Right now I'm into rice mixes for lunch. I use a Bird's Eye frozen. They have whole grain rice and they have white rice, and white rice is okay, brown rice is better. I switch them so that I get a little variety, and they're mixed with vegetables. And that's my lunches. And then dinner time, I've usually got potatoes going. Or last night, I wanted this dish my mother used to make, which was a plain macaroni with stewed tomatoes in it. But then we used to add Parmesan cheese and butter. And I'm like, okay, I want it, but I don't want those bad ingredients. So last night I made it with chickpea pasta. And then I added plain frozen vegetables to it, a mixture of them, plus, of course, the stewed tomatoes. And it was great. I can't wait to have the leftovers tonight because it'll soak in the stewed tomato juice. So I'm actually, and that was just something I dreamed up. I was like, oh, let's just try this. And I was like, oh yeah, that was awesome. It replaces that old dish. And I eat a lot of potatoes now. I cut them up, and I'm perfectly okay with cutting a baked potato and putting them in the air fryer and eating them as French fries with no grease and no salt. Well, the ketchup's got sugar in it, but who cares? That's one thing. I primarily drink water now. That was a step-by-step process from coffee to tea to I now do a hot water with lemon in it. And I look forward to it in the morning. And then most of my drinks, I went from diet sodas. This took a while, but I went from diet sodas to sparkling water, seltzer water, that type of thing. And then I went to making the seltzer water at home. And then I went to, I just drink the water. I like it just as well. Once in a while, I'll put a little flavor in it of some sort, but most of the time, and I love it now. It's what I open the fridge and that's what I'm looking for. And I've got regular soda stacked up next to my refrigerator, and I don't even think about it. It's there for when my brother comes to visit. It's like, it's like, I don't want that.
I love that. You've changed so much.
Yep.
Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to meet with me.
Well, I'm glad you wanted to know how we did and everything. And I really get a lot out of all the calls that we get, because I'm also in the Starch Solution group as well. So I get to visit with you there. And I love listening to your dad and mom talk and tell about the different parts or answer questions. And because sometimes questions come up that I hadn't thought of yet. And I go, oh, that's really interesting, and I've had one person that I talked to recently that noticed that I had lost a lot of weight, asked me what I was doing. And I've learned to try not to get too excited, because then they just, so I kind of approached it slowly in the beginning, well, try watching Forks Over Knives. And she started writing it down. And she goes, no, tell me more. I'm really interested in what you're doing. And I got an email from her about a week later, and she said, I'm on it. She says, I'm doing it. She says, I've started. I watched Forks Over Knives. She goes, I believe it. She goes, so I can't wait to hear or run into her, at work one day and see how she's doing. I'm really looking forward to it. So if I can help spread that seed just a little bit, it'll be, one step at a time.
Just one person makes
Yep.
such a difference. That's so great. I'm
Yep.
so happy
'Cause
for
you-
you, Kathryn.
You never know who in their circle they're going to change too. So
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm so glad you've done so well, and I'm glad that you're catching up with us now 3 times a month since you're part of
Yep.
both groups. We really enjoy that time with you all too. So,
yeah.
are
And
you
I
okay with?
still have-
Oh, go ahead.
I still have my weekly meetings with Tiffany too right now. So that's really helpful. And unfortunately it'll go to monthly, but I think I'll be okay by then. It'll be all right. I'm trying to stay on track and keep things, I still have a long way to go in the weight, but I've come a long way. So it's just the best. I don't know, Heather, it's just been good. It's like I've never had this much success, and I fought this my whole life. I
love
weighed
that.
90
That's-
pounds in kindergarten when most people weigh 60. So I've been at this forever.
That's got to be so empowering. You now know, what to do to control your weight and your health.
Eat all the stuff they kept telling me not to eat. That's the insane part. It's like that's like, are you kidding me? Everybody, my whole life, it's like, well, stay away from the corn, stay away from this, eat just salad. And I'm like, and that's all I'm eating now. And it's like, well, not all that I'm eating, but you know what I'm saying? Because I do make some really good Instapot soups and stuff too, but it's amazing. I'm eating everything they've told me not to eat my whole life. And it's what I should have been eating right along.
You're losing weight and feeling great.
Yep.
I love it.
I wish I'd
Thanks.
found this. I wish I'd found it and believed it when the first book came out, the maximum weight loss back in the 70s. I
Well,
really
it's never
do.
too late, right?
Nope. I'm going to enjoy it for all it's worth right now.
Great. Well, thank you so much for your time. It's been great connecting with you. I appreciate you sharing your story.
Thanks.
And I'll see you online. On Thursday? We've got our next meetup.
Yeah.
Yeah.